This video is designed to help you install the Broan model BHFLED110 vent fan. It has an adjustable color temperature light and moves 110 CFM of air. This fan is designed to work best for new construction and remodel applications, but does not work very well for retrofitting and replacement applications, which you'll see later on in this video. First, I start by assessing the fan. Pull off the cover, and after pulling off the cover, I've exposed all the internal components. I go ahead and I remove the fan motor itself. You can see how dusty that is. Next, I locate the screws for the heater assembly. Unscrewing those Phillips screws allows me to tilt and pull out the heater assembly. Now what I'm going to do is check the power supplies coming into the fan. I'm going to label which wire corresponds with which switch, so that way I can set up my first switch to be my light, my second switch to be my fan, and my last switch to be my heater. It's also important to check to make sure that the power is off before servicing the unit and disconnecting those wire nuts. You'll notice that this cover was actually melted from the operation of the heater. The heater has probably malfunctioned and has caused the shroud to actually melt. That doesn't look too safe. So then we went up in the attic and we looked for the bath fan itself. When we found the bath fan in a sea of insulation, we checked out how it was exhausting to the outside, and we disconnected the duct and pulled the wire, the incoming Romex wire, out of the unit. Once again, I'll stress the importance of labeling your wires, because at that point, if you have not labeled your wires, it can be time consuming to try to figure out what is supposed to go where and how it's supposed to be connected when you put in your new fan. Then after disconnecting the fan from any support, then it's important to measure the opening to match the cutout size of your new unit. Some units will provide a template, whereas this unit did not provide a new template. Then I went and unboxed the new fan, and inside the box everything will be assembled. The heater unit will be bolted in, fan will be bolted in, and it's important when installing these to actually remove those internal components while you're setting the fan box itself. It reduces the weight and it allows you to get access to screws and wire connections where you just wouldn't have space if you didn't do that. The new fan will come with brackets that will mount between ceiling or floor joists. However, this doesn't work very well when you're trying to replace an existing fan if you want the drywall to sit securely underneath the flange on the bottom of the fan, because in order for that to happen and also get those brackets in place, it will be a challenge to hold the fan in position while getting the brackets inserted from above. In my case, I was right up against the stud and I didn't have any space to install the brackets, so I had to secure through the fan body into the joist and use only half the bracket to extend to the other floor joist on the other side. I had to do some modification to make this work. However, I wouldn't recommend this for replacement applications like this. I would use this mainly in a new construction or remodel scenario. The next thing I'm doing is installing the wire nut connections. It's important to use some good quality wire nuts here and make sure your connections are tight. Next, I'm installing the wire nut junction box cover, and then you'll see the fan is securely mounted in the opening and the electrical connections are made. Next, I'll go ahead and install the heater unit, which tilts into place and then uses 2 bolts to secure it in. After that, I'll go ahead and install the fan unit by tilting it into place and making sure those notches go into the fan body, then installing a screw which holds it in place. After that, I'll make sure that all the wire connections are going into the appropriate plugs, which are different shapes corresponding to different functions. Then I'll install the cover and test it for operation, making sure the light, fan, and heater all work properly. And at this point, we are all set and we're ready to clean up, and this fan is well installed for years to come. So not pictured in the video here, but super important, is to connect the bathroom fan vent duct up in the attic in order to make sure that the bathroom vent fan will be exhausting to the exterior of the house. Make sure that's secure and make sure that it's going outside.
Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more home maintenance tips. See you next time.